Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm just bringing another box downtown today. Yesterday I was bringing another box yesterday, and I had a taxi cut me off. Normally if I was riding without a box, I probably would have zipped into the bike lane. But that taxi cut me off with this big box on the back, and he almost pushed me into the parked cars. I mean, of course I wasn't going to hit the parked car. There was a space. That's the only good thing about being on a motorcycle. You have a space that you can avoid. You know, you can always fit in between something. That's the only good thing about a motorcycle. It's the first 3 seconds of an impending accident. You can avoid it, but I'm not taking that way anymore. I usually take West End down. I'm done taking that route because West End kind of reminds me of 6th Avenue. It's very messed up, and that West End has all these problems on it. Like, it's got a huge bike lane on the right. This is West End here, and that was usually I take that straight down to 14th Street, but I'm not taking that anymore. And basically, West End also has the problem of Lincoln Tunnel on the left side, so you got too much shit there. Too much stuff that can go wrong. So I'm not taking that no more. One of the commenters said, hey, you gotta be careful because cars are not expecting a motorcycle in late January. That might be possible. Because they seem to like come over pretty quickly without even looking. Like some of these taxis now, they really come over without even a. You got to be ready for these dudes, because when they come over, they'll take you out. And they swing right over. They don't even look. Which is nuts, you know, in New York, because you have bicycles, you have cyclists, you have unicycles, you have people. Like, look at the guy with a kid on the back. You know, I mean, there's a lot of vehicles in New York. I don't think it's safe to be turning without at least taking a peek of what it is that's on your right. If you just swing over, I'm trying to get this mirror right. The only thing I like about these double takes is this looks like a weak point, deep thing. These loosen up. I haven't had it happen to me, but I cranked those things in with the locking pliers. Which is probably not recommended on these things. I'll just take my usual way, Broadway to 56th Street, and then I'll cut across 56 to 2nd Avenue. At least I know what to expect on 2nd Avenue. West End is a really messed up road. It's not cool on there. There's too much going on West End to be tooling through there on a bike with a box on the back. It's just not cool. That's just about perfect the way I got that. as soon as the weather gets a little warmer, I gotta do a video. I gotta upgrade the front disc on this thing, you know, because KLRs are known for not being the greatest brakes, and it's really true. I mean, the brakes, they basically suck on this bike. Like I said, the KLR has some good things about it and some bad things, and it's not the greatest bike in the world. It doesn't have the most awesome brakes and all this stuff, but it's a good functional bike for what I do. And for most people, it works pretty well, but it's certainly not a superstar when it comes to braking and all that stuff. It's not your superstar, that's for sure. But I'm going to put the Tusk oversized brake rotor on the front. I think that's the only thing that will help this bike out to stop a little better, because, you know, I've messed around. Like, this is like stopping, you know, that's my emergency stopping. It's not the greatest. I mean, it doesn't, it's not horrible either. It's just not the greatest, you know. It's not instilling super confidence in the braking. They're kind of squishy. I don't think I don't know how much the steel braided brake lines would help. They might. I mean, it can't hurt having steel braided, but I'm not going to bother with that right now. I think my main concern is get that caliper changed. I may have to do it today. I'll get that caliper swapped out and bleed the brakes, because the locking pins are frozen, and they're just like mush from the salt. They don't come out. I mean, I tried. I jammed an oversized one because it got all mushy trying to get it out with the Allen key, and then I jammed in a larger size and it fit in there, but it just mushed right out as soon as I. Yeah, those brakes they get messed up from the salt, especially on the front wheel. I've had problems with the back too, but nothing crazy. But actually, I did have to change the pins. I had to drill out a pin one time on the back, and it was a freaking nightmare. Yeah, we're gonna have to drill out the back pin. The retaining pins for the pads. The back ones gave me trouble. I had to drill it out, one of them. But it's almost every time I go to do something with the salt, it disintegrates stuff. Locks stuff in pretty bad. I noticed with the Honda, I don't have that problem because I don't drive it in winter. and I don't drive it when there's salt on the road. And also the Honda has like these caps over the brake retaining pins, like these little caps that go over so stuff doesn't get corroded. It doesn't seep into the actual bolt. Because once the corrosion seeps into the bolt, you're done. Because no matter what you do to try to get that out, even you apply heat to it, it's not going to come out because it's corroded in place. I think this is like a you know, it's not the funnest route going 56th Street, but it definitely works. Gets you where you gotta go. If you gotta get to 2nd Avenue, it gets you there pretty quickly. Whereas that west end is like a freaking mess. I mean, especially right now at this time going near the Lincoln Tunnel, you'd be messed up over there. It's not cool. It's one of the worst areas that you could ever get yourself near. This is okay over here. Works a little better. Yeah, I was approaching that cautiously because I could see the cars weren't moving, and that's when I know something's not right. And sure enough, that girl was right there. That's why I just rev bombed her so that she would just stop where she is, because for me to stop, there could be a bus flying behind me, so I'm just looking to get through there. But I can always tell when there's something wrong, like at an intersection when the light turns green and I'm coming along the side and nobody's going. It's a good clue that either someone blew the light or there's a person like trying to scoot across the intersection. See if I can get in here real quick. Well, yeah, that worked out better. Yeah, so like I know this road. I know what it entails. And I know how people drive on it, but I don't know the west end. They're just fucking nuts over there. And there's no traffic enforcers or nothing over there. That road is totally nuts. You're not going to squeeze through there like this in that road. Someone will just ram you. Second Avenue is like very familiar to me because I've taken it for years. You know, I always find Second Avenue to be a better road for me. I know the bus lane pretty well. I know what I can do, what I can get away with on the bus lane here. But basically, I just scooted the bus lane the whole entire 2nd Avenue to get where I'm going. And then here's where the bus lane ends. I mean, it still has a bus lane, but it's not even functioning. The bus lane is just closed off here because there's a police department there, so they use the bus lane. They sometimes get tickets on there. Like the traffic enforcers don't respect NYPD. They'll just throw tickets all over the cars. So yeah, getting back to the KLR, I wonder how the 2022. Rich from Hawaii just bought a 2022, and I'm going to ask him how the brakes are because they're supposedly supposed to be better. I mean, like I said, Gen 2 brakes.